it's been a long day at the BBGF. It's a beautiful name, isn't it?
Yeah.
The big, do we even have, the BBGF, the big British boutique thing festival.
Guitar Festival. British Boutique Guitar Festival.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Rob Dix, not Dixon.
No, Dix, D-I-X, yes.
That's
French origin, but shortened.
You know, with that name, you save on a lot of ballpoint pens.
You do, yeah.
It's amazing. We're here at CGS's studio, as you know, because you know Mike's beautiful room. And we're number 4, can you tell? With Rob to talk about his Dualist Custom, which looks simple and looks Fender Deluxe Reverb-ish at first glance in this iteration, but you make it in several guises.
Yes, so essentially I tend to stick to the same core circuit, change the output stages to people's requirements, and also the format of kind of what it looks like and what speakers go in it and the cabinet finish, whether it's a tweed type look or something a bit more contemporary.
This is the same as this back here.
Yeah, that's right? just the same circuit, but in a shorter Princeton sort of size chassis
with an 8-inch speaker in it.
Yeah, in the head.
Which would have been cool to check out, but Mike set up this one, so we can't.
Use that one if you want it.
Well, no, now it's too late.
Okay. That's not my
now
fault.
you have to send me one of those so I can check it out at home. We're gonna check
so this one's a combo version with a Fane Alnico 60 speaker in it, made in the UK because I wanted a UK produced speaker.
Obviously, because good stuff. It's the British Boutique Guitar Festival. So
yeah. So I thought it fitted with the British Boutique Guitar
sense.
Festival. So it would be remiss of me to stick a Jensen in it, wouldn't it, really? So.
Even though they make nice speakers.
Even though they
hey,
nice
Ignacio, how you doing? It's got to be nice to you,
Yeah.
Ignacio. Nice man. Very nice man.
Yeah. In fact, the Jensen Stealth 100 is quite a popular choice because obviously you've got a weight saving as well. But
the thing with speakers is I trust the maker to choose what works with the amp.
Yeah,
so
I get that.
I would never tell you put that in.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know your amp, you know your cabs, you know what sound you want from it, so you decide that's what we're putting in there.
Yeah. Well, I tend not to work like that, to be honest. I like to sort of engage the customer in the whole education process of building the amp. So, whether it's sending them photographs of the build, a box of parts arriving, or getting them to go and research what speakers they like.
Oh, you get ownership in the product. Yeah. But with me, and I tend to say I'm a professional in the field, I wouldn't tell you, I wouldn't know what speakers would be. I do prefer a 412 Creamback IR that I'm using. That's my main thing. But is that right for your amp? Is that right for your chassis? I wouldn't know.
It'll probably sound just fine.
Well, then that's what I want, right there. Creambacks, I don't know.
Yeah.
Straightforward look. Let's look at the cleans. So explain to me what's happening there, because you switched things around. All of a sudden, this thing became a gain beast.
Yeah.
Which a Fender wouldn't.
Yeah. It's not a Fender, for sure.
I mean,
it's probably more towards a Dumble territory as far as the preamp structure is concerned. But the output stage is very much tweed. It's cathode bias towards Class A for push-pull.
I know nothing about electronics, by the way.
Very little or no negative feedback on the output stage. So it's a very tactile, responsive result. So essentially, it's not a strict 2-channel amp. Mm-hmm. It has 2 modes.
Okay.
In what I call single mode, we've got a single preamp tube and a tone stack in between it, and that's driving your obviously via your effects loop and your reverb circuit, but that's driving your power stage.
But there is an effects loop.
Yeah, there is a tube buffered effects loop.
There is a spring reverb.
Yes,
which we can't see because we don't have a camera in the back.
The reverb controller's on the back because not everybody wants reverb. So,
give me that reverb. So let's start with the clean side of it.
Okay.
We need to make sure that we're not overdoing it because we set up the level earlier, so I don't know where we set up. That's a clean right there.
Yeah.
That's how it should be.
Yeah. So you've also in that sort of mode, you've also got a bright switch on your. And you've also got a fat switch, which is quite cool for maybe if you've got a single coil Strat pickup. It's like a humbucker.
Yeah. What?
Maybe.
It also a little bit more of the low mids. I like that.
Yeah.
Probably better for pedals. You need a little bit more girth in your tone.
So, bright and fat are just pull functions on the pots. It's also got a boost switch, which is foot switchable, that operates in both the normal and the overdrive mode. So
you're a Mesa Boogie fan, aren't you?
yeah, maybe. But if you drive in the amp, like you're starting to drive the power stage, putting that boost in the normal mode would just push it into overdrive.
Yeah.
So that's the function there. And then in dual, obviously you've got the master control in that mode as well. And then in dual mode, you cascade that into an overdrive stage, which then gives you additionally
The gain 2.
Gain 2.
So you're doing gain 1, gain 2.
Yeah. So it's not a twin channel amp. It's
Let's
a single channel amp with 2 modes.
I had a long ass chat with Stephen Fryette lately about the 2CP module from Synergy, and that's kind of reminiscent of what Mesa did back in the day, where the channels aren't independent.
Yeah.
Channel 1 or gain 1 will drive gain 2,
Yeah.
and you're kind of stacking that.
That's the way it works. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So essentially, in single mode, you've obviously got your volume in 3-tone EQ and a master, and in dual mode, you've got the full set of controls going on.
Well, give me that dual mode, because that sounded ridiculous.
Okay, so we.
That's already a phenomenally beautifully singing lead.
Thank you.
But with the bass,
Yeah,
I can pull that.
well, if you pull fat first,
So that's that. Okay.
yeah, that will take you.
That's the gain boost.
It's kind of a gain and mid-range.
Okay. But the bass was
Do you want to pull the fat?
yes.
Okay.
Because it's a little bit lean. And that's without pushing the gain down. Where's it gonna go?
Well, let's have a look.
Of course, we're running it, we gotta say this, at a very, very moderate bedroom level at the moment.
Yeah.
This thing will get quite a bit bigger in tone if we crank it to breakout ears level.
Yeah, this particular combo is quite loud. I mean, it's a quad of 6v6s. Technically, it's about 28 watts, but because of the way the output stage is built with limited feedback to contain it.
I don't know at all what that means. I
Okay.
mean, you're saying all this stuff.
It's a tweed style output stage, which means that it's relatively, it feels much louder than you would think for
See,
the amount of power.
you use baby words and then I'm there.
Okay, cool.
It's louder than you think. Good.
Louder than you would think for 4 6v6s. Yeah.
Like, I'm a guitar player. I play.
Yeah.
I don't spend time on forums talking about electronics because I literally don't understand them.
Yeah.
I don't buy an amp based on its feedback loop. I play it. Hey, sounds good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then I try to convey that to those people. I don't know how many of those people care about. I mean, actually, they do. They know about.
Some people do,
They know
yes.
about the output stage and the feed and the. But
Absolutely.
and they discuss it all day long.
Yeah.
You know those people.
Yeah. So it's a tweed style output stage, cathode biased for the people that want to know, which makes it a very tactile, relatively louder, feeling amp than you would expect.
So we now have everything back in.
Yeah, so we were still on dual mode. You wanted to try the boost.
Yep.
So without the boost.
Definitely more mids.
Yes.
Pushes the mids.
It's a gain boost and a EQ shift.
Yeah, okay. You can definitely hear that. I'm gonna say 800 hertz coming.
Well, you might be right.
About that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
The creamy hertz. That's what's coming in.
You're actually quite good.
Munson guitars, if you know how to play them, they sound great. Describe this as one of the most easy to play lead tones ever. You don't need a boost in front of this thing that's stupid. You don't need your tube screamer that's dumb. This by itself, maybe put a nice delay in the effects loop.
That's all I use normally.
That's all you would need to have your Santana-ish lead, your Lukather-ish lead, your just, tried and true lead sound. Wow. With amazing cleans. How heavy for rhythms can that get? I mean, we're having it at a low volume. I think if we go crank the power amp up more, it's going to get more girthy. But we can't really do that.
And I've structured the circuit so that, I mean, obviously in a I don't know, something like a straight ahead Orange or an early Marshall, you'd have the preamp signal so big that it's driving the power stage fully to saturation. But because you've obviously got quite a lot of gain going on the preamp, you don't need to do that with this amp. So I've sort of balanced it so that, it's not going to put it in sort of out there in the stratosphere territory, too much gain. So you've got to contain it a little bit.
The power amp is there to make
it has to be sympathetic to the preamp.
Yeah, it's here to make it louder, but not to add.
Although there is enough there that it will push it, within sort of the first sort of half of where it would be normally for a single channel amp.
So let's push that gain back in. And we're on 10 here. How subtle. How that goes. Can't do it. Wait. That's a pretty fantastic amp.
Thank you very much. It's taken quite a long time to get it to that point. Yeah. I think
That game is exactly where I'm at home. Like it's easy to play. It's not the Marshally kind of game where it's exposing a lot of your playing.
Yeah.
Where it's with the plexi, it can easily get super bright and grating, which is nice for certain things. With the JCM, there's loads of bass that can easily just be too much, which is why you have to tame it with a tube screamer in front of it to cut the bass. It's a more American.
Yes, it's
game.
fat overdrive.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, as a builder, I tend to build an amp to how I would like an amp to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And your aesthetic for tone is most certainly mine. Now, that let's say as it is right here, the 112 combo, how much?
Okay, depends on the speaker to choose. So I tend to price.
He's going into speakers again.
Yeah.
Him and his speakers.
So that as a head, then without the speaker, would be 2,200
Pounds.
As a 1x12 combo like that, a little bit more for the cabinet, so maybe 2-3 plus the cost of whatever speaker you choose to put in it.
Maybe
so
2-4, 2-5, something like that.
So I mean, if you want to spend £230 on an Alvin Eco speaker, or you want to spend £70 on a Celestion V-Type, that's fine. Or if you've got speakers that you like already and you just want to send me, I'll put them in for you. Yeah.
So the one with the 8-inch included, how much is that?
Well, that's going to come out around about the same sort of price, really, 2.2, something like that.
And the wattage you said is what?
This one is a quad of 6v6 cathode biased, so typically about a third less than what you would expect for that. So that's about 28 watts, something like that, 30 watts.
That's giggable.
Yeah, and that one there is a single-ended Class A tube, 6550 or a KT88 perhaps. You can swap them. That will give you about 10 watts clean, about 15 watts driven.
That's more
like that.
Play at home and record.
Still pretty loud, but yes. But yeah, occasionally I do like a 5 watt or something less, with single 6v6 in it. I mean, that's the element of the customization.
When you have an amp with, let's say, 15 watts, yeah, you can absolutely run that in a band, but you have to remember, if you want to run it clean,
it's the headroom.
It's the headroom. Like if it's driving and you're cranking it up and the power amp is also adding its magic, it's all fine. If you want to run that clean, especially with 6v6 or something, then you're not getting.
Yeah, I mean, I've built the only two 100-watt versions I've built. One was for a rocker, but the other was a jazz guy, and he basically just needed that much power because
you want that headroom. Power. Yeah.
So a 100-watt amp in that sort of configuration would probably give you typically, I don't know, maybe 50, 60 watts power of clean.
Yeah,
something
exactly.
In that order.
Which is a lot. Which is a lot,
yes.
But 28, I think that's fully giggable. But 15, getting the clean headroom might be borderline.
Yeah, it depends on the tubes that you choose,
of
course, as well.
But first of all, who's playing out right now? We're all at home, so nobody gives a rat's ass. And this, I think this over here as a visually as well as tonally as your living room amp. Holy hell balls, that's a good amp. Now, okay, you're in a price range where you're definitely in the boutique world. That's why you're at a boutique guitar show. But I don't know. I mean, a Friedman twin sister, that's $3,000. Decent Morgan, that's in a similar price range. So you're definitely playing with the big boys in the boutique world price-wise, but you're also playing with the big boys in the boutique world by delivering the goods.
Yes, and I think I think it's a good price for the kind of level of amp that it's at.
So if you liked what you heard, go to the website that I put below. Talk to this man. Send him your speakers or kidneys or whatever other organs you want to send him. You take organs, right? That's payment.
Only kidneys, yeah.
Only kidneys. Yeah. So. Start cutting people. Yeah. I didn't say it. I'm not a proponent of organ harvesting. So thanks for watching. Thanks, Adam, for switching. He looks very comfortable back there. Are you awake?
No.
Adam from Uphold Studios will also have a video on amps. You're making one of these, right?
Sure.
There you go. And animals at the end.
I had